Chetan Kumar, you're hearing the BJP spokesperson say, we're not interfering with the probe. These netas giving character certificates doesn't undermine what the police is doing, and really we're waiting for the judiciary to determine whether or not the seer should be given anticipatory bail. Do you think that in the manner in which the police are approaching this case, they're seriously undermining the faith that these victims will have and everyone watching this case will have in the efficacy of our judicial process?
If you want to understand the way this case is being handled by the police and the investigation and the total Karnataka society as a whole, you have to understand Mutt culture in Karnataka. Mutt culture has existed for 1,000 years and it's been involved socio-culturally, educationally, religiously influenced. But the three political parties to various levels have gotten Mutt culture involved heavily politically over the past 15 years. And this is something that is influencing the investigation through indirect ways. We have a question, in a secular society, how much should these religious institutions be involved in government? How much should they be given money? See, you talk about Mr. B.S. Yediyurappa actually, even before the investigation, saying it's a false implication, giving a kind of call that this is something that is a clean sheet in some way before the investigation even happened. And you see Mr. Yediyurappa from 2008 to 2013 giving a lot of money to the Mutts, and the Mutts being very loyal 1 year back, supporting him in various many ways. And he's also scratching their back. Now you also see Mr. Kumaraswamy, who interestingly in 2019 gave over 115 crores to Mutts and 42 different Mutts. This is taxpayer money. Now he says, I have known about this case 6 months back. If you have known about it, why aren't you doing anything about it? Why are you shuffling your feet? Of course, Bommai, the chief minister, is also not taking a strong stance. And Mr. Siddaramaiah, who actually went to the Mutts earlier this month for his 75th birthday anniversary to the Murugha Mutt, has not made a single statement, even though he seems to be talking on every issue under the sun. So these are political parties that are divided by maybe their flags and divided by votes, but united by Mutt culture. So everybody has a vested interest to not get involved, to tiptoe, and to somehow give this person a pass, even though he might not be deserving of it, according to what the investigation said.
You make a very important point. Now, I want to put that question to GB Patil. You're a Lingayat leader yourself. You head a crucial Lingayat Mahasabha. This suggestion that because this seer comes from an influential political community, and there's a big election around the corner, therefore all netas are bending over backwards, giving character certificates, ignoring the seriousness of the charges that the seer faces.
I just fail to understand the question itself, because the accused is also Lingayat, the victim is also Lingayat.
Correct.
How can we make the difference between two Lingayats? Because here the main question is accused and the rapist and the victim. So we have to take up that. Whether he is influential or not influential, that doesn't serve the purpose here. The law of the land should take its course. Immediately what is supposed to do, the state government has to do it. Whether they are all politicians, they are banking on the votes. Is it a politician versus people's movement? Is it something like that? All politicians are one side. They wanted to protect the seer, and the normal people are on the road. They wanted to punish the guilty. So what kind of democracy we are in? Actually, it should have been he should have been stepped down for himself, because he is the most respected seer in Karnataka. Because it is one girl is going to his room saying Appa. Appa means father. Can a father do this injustice to the girl? Can you ask a question to Mr. Yediyurappa or any leaders of the Karnataka political leaders? Is he not your beti? Is he not your grandchild? What is happening? Why we are making a difference between rich and poor? All along we have to fight haves and have-nots in this country. If he is a have, then have-nots are not having any voice in this country. Law should be equal.
But try and explain some of this Murugha Mutt rivalry to our viewers. There is an ex-Janata Dal secular MLA, S.K. Basavarajan, who is a childhood friend of this seer. He was initially in line to head up this Mutt, but he fell in love with a girl called Shaubhagya. He left the Mutt because he was no longer an ascetic. He joined politics, returned to the Mutt earlier this year. He's had a falling out with this seer. And therefore, it is being suggested that all these minor girls who are now speaking out are actually being incited that both these seers, Shivamurthy Murugha, the Mutt Seer, grew up with Basavarajan, and therefore now because they are clashing, which is why this matter is now playing itself out in the public domain. GB Patil?
Yeah. First of all, I'm failed to understand that why this third person is coming into this. Here is a POCSO case. There should be alleged victim and alleged rapist. That should take it's between the head of the MUT and the head of the administrative wing. They are supposed to do their job. It is nothing to do with this case, and this case is a totally different case, and that case is also a different case. Why you have to tagging that case to this case to cover the misdeeds? One will feel that. One right-thinking person will feel that they wanted to cover these misdeeds. They are just diverting the attention of Mutt's internal politics. So here case is different. We have to talk only about the victim and the accused.